For those of you who are listening on audio, this is the motherfucking profits that I was talking about on my Instagram story. I don't give a fuck about that. I really don't. I really don't, because we take profits on this podcast occasionally. I'm George Carmona. We've been on a 2-week hiatus, and I need to fill you in on why a 2-week hiatus. Well, one, okay, this show is solely produced by moi, and I get assistance from people throughout the office, but a majority of what you see is done solely by me, and I produce 20 podcasts. So occasionally, I get fucking tired, okay? And it makes sense. So it was good tracking, okay? I'm 25 years old, all right? I need to understand, when does George usually fall off the rails? When does he need some more assistance? It just so happens that it's week 13 and 14 that George needs help in the NFL. Week 14, I may always take off, because the second week that we took off was because it was my loved one's birthday. Tell the people how old you turned. I'm
26 now.
Ooh, whoa, so why'd you fucking say it like that? Welcome back to
so
engineering, Cameron. She's 26 and thriving. She's 26. Glowing today.
The later half of my 20s. Here we go.
There's not even a ring light on her. She's just naturally, she emits light. She glows.
I just naturally glow.
So, yeah, it was your birthday. So, NFL week 14, I say, I didn't want to do it. Part of the reason why I also didn't want to do it is because we drove back. We went to Disneyland for Cameron's birthday, which was on a Saturday. That morning, Cameron had her window broken in, too. We were in Los Angeles. We were outside the Laugh Factory. We watched an amazing performance. Chris D'Elia as a special guest. Then we had Craig Robinson from The Office. He played the keys for like 45 minutes. We sang karaoke. Amazing night. My brother was on his UCLA recruiting trip. We'll touch on him a little bit later on. No homo. But so we had an amazing night at the Laugh Factory. We walk outside, and Cameron, what did we see?
My rear passenger side window was smashed.
Bro.
It was nothing there. We walked up and we just saw no window.
We saw
no window.
We saw no window.
A lot of glass, though.
It was, windows smashing, kind of intense, you know? It doesn't matter how many laughs you had. We had 2 hours of consistent laughs, couple of beverages, okay? We were feeling ourselves, and then we go, and then we're like, wow.
They didn't get much, though. They got like $4 and change, and my birthday present from George was a Disneyland gift card.
Yeah.
That they stole, those bitches.
It wasn't the trip to Disneyland, because we all know, and I'll say this right now. I say it to you because I take pride in it, because it's awesome when you have gifts that benefit both people. You know, so going to Disneyland was a fun thing for me, you know, but the $100 gift card would have been 100% yours. And he stole it, or she. What are the chances it was a she?
It could have been a duo, a he and she duo.
Bonnie and Clyde situation.
Yeah, something like that.
So that is the reason why. Okay, NFL week 13, Georgia's tired as fuck. I need a week off. NFL week 14, 13 tired, 14 Disneyland trip.
Should we tell them the real reason as to why we didn't do week 13?
Why?
It's because we drove my car here that week.
Oh,
we were fully prepared to do the show.
Wait a second.
Fully prepared.
Drove
here with my car, and the keys to the studio are on his car keys. So we came here fucking 35 minutes from our house, and then realized we had no way of getting in the studio. So we drove back, and then did not do the show.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's on me. That is 100% on me when we do the action replay, like how they do in the commercials.
Just throw the flag.
Cameron threw the challenge flag, and before she even threw the challenge flag, New York had reversed the call anyways. They already knew it was my fault. Cameron, I'm going to be honest with you. I forgot about that because I was exhausted. I remember telling you, I was like,
it was also so late. It was like, by the time we got here, it was 8:30 or so. 9 o'clock almost, and we were like, if we drive back, it'll be 9:30.
Oh yeah, back. It was not a good situation. But anyways, In the last 2 weeks, a lot has happened, and I guess I'll start with the family news, and we will be getting to NFL Week 15. I chaptered these videos, so if you just want to get to my football recaps, then you can find which game you want me to talk about. I will be talking about every game, and I will be predicting Monday Night Football, but before all that, we got to talk about Baby Bro committing to the University of Arkansas. Woo! Pig suey. Woo! Pig suey. Razorbacks, something like that. I think we'll get better at it, Kay. Arkansas is low-key like Jerry Jones's college. Did not know this. This was a huge plus in all the facilities that Arkansas was able to provide. My brother just is a simpleton, and he had 4 choices, or he narrowed down to 4 relatively quickly. He was between UCLA, BYU, Auburn, and Arkansas, and he went to UCLA. Like I said, he was with us there at the comedy club that night. He was a part of the whole breaking in situation. It's amazing the way that paths cross, because he wasn't planning on transferring, and then he wasn't planning on having the UCLA visit the same weekend that I had been planning this trip, and it was amazing. It aligned, and so that was cool. UCLA, Chip Kelly, my dad. It was an amazing moment. I will be having Junior on to kind of talk about this whole process, so I don't want to go too far into detail with it, but it was cool. Lots of cool conversations. My parents did an amazing job of helping Junior, not necessarily filter out the bullshit, but kind of like keep track of it. For a lot of these college athletes, when they go through this process, especially without an agent, you're talking about 20 to 25 different serious phone calls that you can receive immediately. And, are you taking notes? Are you, recording those phone calls so you go back and listen to them in the future? These are all things that I'm, excited to not only share with the people that are possibly going to transfer, but, does it really even matter? Because like I said, most kids, they get good feelings right off the rip. Arkansas gave my brother an amazing feeling. The O-line coach loves him. The head coach, Sam Pittman, loves him. Bobby Petrino, offensive coordinator, SEC football. This is, it's a real brother moment. Everybody who's been congratulating me, at first I was like, why do they keep congratulating me? It's not me, but
it's your family.
It's my family. And like, I get it and I understand it. And I think I'll understand it the more we process it. This all happened in the span of the last 72 hours. That I knew he was going to commit on Friday. He signed the papers on Friday. My parents fly back home. They're there Saturday. And today we're recording and it's Sunday. And it's like, wow, his life is thoroughly changed forever. God willing, everything goes according to plan. Like, it'll continue to change for the better. But I got to keep doing my fucking show. There's no more weeks off ever, Cameron. Never. Ever, ever, ever. He's in the SEC.
Whoa. Football.
Fucking, yeah.
Yes.
I'm so fired up. I cannot wait to go experience,
excited.
soak up a little bit of SEC culture. Arkansas, Fayetteville. Crazy coincidence. Today, as I'm driving around, all right, I've definitely probably have. Okay, well, let me rephrase. I said I never, but I probably have. I probably have seen an Arkansas license plate before in my life. But today I saw 2 right in front of me. Follow the signs. This is a good thing.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Universal
It's
signs.
super crazy. So, wow, didn't even know what fucking noise that was. Woof. First day back in the saddle. Okay, George, know what to do. Thursday night football. I'm wearing a Raiders hat. I went to the Raiders game with Uncle Kiki, and Eric Capetillo, the head coach of Las Vegas High School, the place where I announce football. We went to the Raiders and Chargers game. Raiders 63, Chargers 21. We witnessed history. A couple of things I wanted to touch on before this. On the bus drive to Allegiant Stadium, I was sitting next to Kiki, and he was, we're gamblers. So like we were just discussing line after line after line, talking about the game that we were going to be going to. And I told him I took the alternate over 41.5. Now, after the Raiders did not score a point the week previous, and the team that were playing, the Chargers, not starting Justin Herbert, the fact that Circa was giving me plus 220, I believe it was, odds on it to go over 41.5, the more it sits with me, that's fucked up. And that's why I've stopped. I'm making a little, I'm going to go on a little Circa rant here. Okay. The fact that I got 2-1 at Circa on something that should have realistically been 4-1. You're talking about teams that didn't the Raiders went from tying a franchise lowest scoring game to then setting a franchise record for most points in a game. How the fuck is that not worth 4-1, 5-1? Crazy, right? So with that being said, that money that I showed earlier in the podcast, that was Circa's money. I have absolutely fucked Circa this year, and I love it. The feeling of beating a casino. I hear people talk about it all the time. What does it feel like to go into a casino and to just take their money? Take their money with low amounts of your money. I've had a very profitable year coming out of Circa. But with that being said, after the 2-1 odds, and I hit that, I also hit a couple of other things, some UFC, fight to go the distance, the most sweat bet of all time. I fucking hit Circa hard, cashed out that same night, and mark my words, I will keep Circa as an app because you need to shop the lines, and you got to see what they're offering, but Circa always offers the worst lines. Anyways, the Raiders fucking thrashed the Chargers. This game was not close from the get-go. I knew that the Raiders were going to come in and they were going to be in a shootout. That was my honest opinion of it. Why else would I have put over 41.5 when the over-under was set at 34? I obviously thought this was going to be a fucking high-scoring affair. The Raiders scored 42 points in the first half.
I get 49-0. This is nuts. Never been done before.
When I tell you, every Raiders fan, you know, like how when teams are really good and they're like, act like you've been there before. The Raiders fans ain't been there before. Okay? They were, I have a video of a dude when they played blow the whistle in the third quarter, and they were up by like 50. And this dude was like, it's like Oakland. And it's definitely not like Oakland. And he was like, don't, bum, 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 blow the whistle. And, he was full Bay Area swanging. I was digging it. I have a video of it. I'm inserting it right now. Boom. All right. Chargers sucked. Eaton stick, not the answer. I was really hoping to see Max Duggan. He was looking at a couple of times that he was warming up very aggressively. And I was like, Max Duggan time. Why not? The Chargers are they're playing a dude who's been in the NFL for 5 years, hasn't done shit. And you have Max Duggan, who just came fresh off of taking TCU to a natty. I don't know, bro. Start the redhead. Redhead quarterbacks, as of Andy Dalton, have a good proven track record in this league. Try it out. Other than that, Brandon Staley gets fired. Shocker. Surprised he made it to the locker room. We were really Cap was like,
Staley, come here. Get your fucking ass out of here. It's over. You're done.
take a Greyhound.
Fucking take a Greyhound. Take Southwest.
Stand by. Stand by. Southwest, stand by.
They should have had the GM at the end of the tunnel and just say, hey, come here. You're not even going to go talk to the team. Fucking figure it out. See ya. And now I heard rumors Brandon Staley called Cliff Kingsbury, and he's like, hey, dude, how do I spend millions and live like a king? And he said, visit me in Thailand. Yep. Saturday football was kind of weird. Everybody was talking about how Saturday football like throws off the feng shui of the NFL season, to which I say, no, it doesn't. Like, I would way rather an NFL game than a college football game that's probably a blowout most of the time, right? So Bengals 27, Vikings 24, that is where we will get this party rocking. I have been a disbeliever in Jake Browning of the Bengals. I don't think that this is something that is going to last into a electric playoff run. When you think about like quarterbacks that have come in and stolen a moment, I need everyone to realize like Joe Burrow is more than better than Jake Browning, okay? Not only is he better than Jake Browning, but his college resume alone compared to Jake Browning's, and if that's what we're going to go off of, you definitely want Joe Burrow. So Jake Browning, good on him. He's going to be an amazing quarterback for another team. They're going to probably get some good draft stock from him. He's making millions. Every week that he goes out like this and he performs at a high level, he's making millions. But the Vikings kind of gave this one away. There was a lot of mistakes that I saw on the offensive side for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson played amazing, but it wasn't enough to get over the Bengals. So I am now going to then discuss the next game in this slate. And this is one of the more disappointing games for a lot of people on the Northeast coast, okay? All you Pennsylvania yins and motherfuckers. That was very rude of me. But I mean, like, they waved the yellow,
what
terrible.
What did you call them? Pennsylvania.
Yinzer.
What is that?
Yinzer? I don't know. I think that's what they call them. They're called Yinzers out there.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. They're Yinzers. Steelers fans are are gingers. You know, it's like you're. Colts 30, Steelers 13. Without Jonathan Taylor, they were still able to control the run game. I'm going to go ahead and find the running back's name right now because he had a hell of a performance. Trey Sermon, 17 carries, 88 yards, and then Gardner Minshew, one of the best mediocre quarterbacks in the league, 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. So the Colts are kind of a team that you don't want to necessarily play in the playoffs. They have a way better road record than they do home record, which is kind of weird. But they're not necessarily, well, they are in contention now that the Jaguars have officially lost tonight. That AFC South spot is pretty wide open. You got the Titans that are playing pretty good football now. You got the Colts, and now you got the Jaguars. So 8-6 record. The Steelers looked like shit. They don't even produce to the level that makes me feel confident in them in the playoffs. Najee Harris, he probably cost me the fantasy football playoff game that I'm in. Najee Harris got me anywhere from 3 to 1 points. It's somewhere in between there. Bad. I needed him to go off, okay? Like how Cameron's team's going off, because it should be Cameron and I in the Gridiron Junkies fantasy football playoff finals.
That'd be so cool. I'm so upset. I really hope your kicker goes off.
I'd
love to fucking beat your ass.
I told Cameron's family today at lunch that we would not be able to stay in the same house that week, and I'm serious about that. Yeah, you're laughing. Like, I'm very serious about, I want it that bad. I do.
I'd destroy you.
But here's the thing. You also kind of tell me how much money you're going to spend in fab on waiver players. I could have backdoored you this week. You're lucky I like you.
No, you didn't know how much I spent. I didn't tell you the final number.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, when?
Because I just asked you. I was like, oh, how much do you spend on him?
No.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen. I said, how much do you think? I think I remember asking you how much you think. I should spend on him, and I don't remember even the answer you gave me. I just put that in. I did not tell you that. You bid $0 for the defense of the Packers.
I got him.
You should have got the Dolphins.
I should have done a lot
The
of things.
Dolphins got me
Cameron.
66 points. 66 points on defense. That's amazing. That's amazing.
No. Okay, go ahead. Talk about the Dolphins game. No. Cameron wants to steal the show with the Dolphins defense.
The Dolphins didn't allow any points. That's simple as that.
Dolphins
30-0.
30.
Boom.
Jets 0.
Dolphins 66 points on defense.
Toss it back to me, and I want you to pull up the sleeper stats, and then I want you to read through some of the things that got you points because they scored touchdowns today. Man, Raheem Mostert, give him his flowers. This 31-year-old low mileage running back right here has thoroughly gone off. Do I think he can repeat this year after year? I don't necessarily think that that's the way the running back position works, but I'm learning it every single year. There's very few that have the explosiveness and an offense tailored around them to do all of that. If he stays with Mike McDaniels and the Dolphins buy into him, who knows? He could do what Austin Eckler did for the Chargers, and hopefully that doesn't end with a fizzle out at the end. But anyways, Cameron, Dolphins defense, 66
There's
points.
A lot.
There's a lot of
stuff.
Just hit us with what got you the most points.
Points allowed 0. That got me 20 points right off the bat.
Damn.
100 to 199 total yards allowed. That's 12 points. Easy. Interceptions, 2 interceptions. Couple of forced fumbles. Fumble recovery. Sacks, they had 6 sacks also. Yeah. And 56 sack yards. There's a lot. They got a lot of points. 86 points. They did
Can we
fantastic.
just so this game eliminated the Jets from playoff contention. Thank the Lord, because, Aaron Rodgers and this fantasy of I'll come back. They got sacked 6 times, bro. And that's Zach Wilson, who's somewhat trying to move in the pocket. And you think that you can stand there in that pocket and make the throws that you need to make and maneuver around the pocket with that shitty offensive line. You will die, Aaron Rodgers. Just wait till next year. There was a funny TikTok. I'm going to insert it here.
Yep.
It's like when he's throwing the ball, right? He's throwing the I want to make a compilation of me doing that because that's a funny meme. The way Aaron Rodgers just... Last game on the Saturday slate, this is what really won Cameron and I a good deal of cash. Let me just pick up this $100 bill. I mean, this is kind of disrespectful that I just leave money laying around like this. It's just... Damn. It's disrespectful. Mind you, I'm doing this now because it's $200 bills. When I see Bill Krakenberger on a show that I produce called Wisecracks pull out stacks of $10,000 to $25,000, and it's just in his fucking jacket pocket, and he's just stack. He's I don't mean to flex or anything, but I just look at this, okay? I carry cash. It ain't heavy. You know what I mean? That's always that's his punchline. But it ain't heavy. You can carry cash, people. So I flex. Lions 42, Broncos 17. This game, like I said, was a profitable game for us. We chose the Lions. We were confident in the pick. The only thing that I was somewhat rooting for, aside from Lions domination, was that Russell Wilson was going to throw for over 250 passing yards. Things are getting intense in the show that I host called Wager Wars. Check the playlist and the Gridiron Junkies, and you can watch as we go through each week and we make our 3 best bets, me and the co-host Rob. I had a $400 lead this week. I had Russell Wilson over 250 passing yards, 2-1. He throws for 223 passing yards. And then on the very last drive of the game, the Broncos brought in the backup quarterback. All I needed was 25 passing yards, which, by the way, the Lions would have played mass prevent defense. He would have probably got like 40. I still won my bet at Circa, which was a pretty big parlay that I put in for the afternoon slate, which was like, yes, okay, one big punch. And then the second big punch was UFC. But this one felt like I was somewhat robbed at the end. Everyone in the room was just so confused. Your family has to put up with like me, like going through different sports betting emotions. They have to know like it's not make it or break it. Like I'm not betting the house on this stuff. Yeah, they definitely know that. Yeah, I mean, am I degenerate? Possibly. But it's okay. We do it responsibly. I have shows about this, so I might as well, practice what I preach over here. The Lions only perform well when they're at home, so they better win out so that way they have a chance to, possibly get a 1 seed, if not host a playoff game. I don't think the 1 seed is necessarily out of reach for them, but they definitely can't slip up here at the end. Jared Goff, under 40 degrees. When I looked up the stats, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I'd seen him the week previous, and he was wearing like long white sleeves, and it was a little bit nippy outside, and Jared Goff played like shit. So I was a little worried about them playing in like the frozen tundra and come playoff time. But a lot of these NFC teams, either West Coast or in a dome. Like East Coast has it kind of like fucked up where, Buffalo's getting a new stadium and it's outside. Like, what are you doing? Let's be a little smarter than that.
I think they like the snow.
Yeah. They love the snow and they love fucking up the Cowboys, which we will discuss in the afternoon slate. But on to the next game, which was Texans 19, Titans 16. CJ Stroud, my fantasy protege, out this week. I take Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is a person that on all these talk shows, you're starting to hear the rumblings. Oh my gosh. How did the Browns do this, right? Joe Flacco, a person who was completely unheard of a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago. Nobody was like, oh, Joe Flacco is going to come and save a franchise. Well, he did. Not only did he save a franchise, but Joe Flacco is playing hot. I picked him up in fantasy. He went off, although he threw 3 interceptions and one of them being a pick 6, still puts up 28 points in the Gridiron Junkies Fantasy Football League. What a man. Coming off the couch, producing for me. But the reason why I say this, CJ Stroud is out. CJ Stroud being out, I was like, oh my gosh, all right, do they go with Davis Mills? No, they go with Case Keenum. For those of you who don't know Case Keenum or really remember, Vikings, Minneapolis Miracle. He was the one that threw the ball to Stephon Diggs. Boom, beat the Saints. Fucking Case Keenum. Yeah, he's been around the league for a while. So I was confident in the Texans this week. They went with a person who has had more starts. They've seen more reps. They saw Flacco, and they were like, let's get Case Keenum. Which, by the way, Joe Flacco is way better than Case Keenum. Joe Flacco here, Case Keenum here. All that being said, the Titans are finding ways to stay in ball games. The Texans are also just a scrappy team that they need to win out in order to make the playoffs. Making the playoffs to the Texans, it means a lot right now. You know, you want to get, even if you get your ass whooped in the playoffs because you have a whole bunch of rookies and your team is beaten up, you want to know what it feels like to go into the Januaries and late Januaries and how that actually, pans out for a rookie quarterback that has a possibility, if he comes back in these next couple of weeks, because people are slipping up at the top of the MVP race, even though I think Lamar kind of ran away with it today. CJ Stroud, he can at least win Offensive Rookie of the Year or something. Next game from this morning, Buccaneers 34, Packers 20. This was a Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans field day. I know that the Green Bay Packers need to play better at home. However, their defense, I witnessed it when they played the Saints and when they've played a couple of other games where they're like a fourth quarter comeback team. Okay. One of the things that they're always saying about Jordan Love is he's getting a lot of fourth quarter comebacks and like late game drives to either tie it or win the game. And it's like, you know, who else was really good at that was Tony Romo. And, you know, you kind of don't want to necessarily be lumped into things are close at the end, you know, or I'm behind. You know, although it is like, you know, you have to put yourself in an ultra dialed in, focused 2-minute drill manner. And that's like one of the coolest things when you see a quarterback go down the field and just boom, 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 score a touchdown to win a game. You don't see it that much right now. But you also don't want to be put in those positions to begin with. The Packers had a chance to come back, but Jordan Love underperformed. Like I said, this was a situation in which when Mike Evans scored one of his touchdowns, comes across the middle, slant, scores a touchdown, goes and hands the ball off to a fan. There was a little bit of an altercation with the fan and the security guard. And I think the security guard took the ball. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I thought if an NFL player hands you a ball, you could keep that. Unless that dude, I think, maybe like jumped down there. He was like, everyone get the fuck out of the way. I want to do this. Okay. Finally, boom, got through all those fucking games just to get to the most important thing. How about them Saints, baby? Okay, Derek Carr and our center got into a bit of a scuffle. I was at BJ's watching the game, and I was like, oh my gosh, why does everyone not like Derek Carr, like, to an extreme level? Like, teammates are like getting into it with him. And, you know, I think it was more so like a football frustration. I think that maybe a snap was off. I'm gonna go dive in, research it a little bit more. But anyways, DeVito, he gets hurt. Okay, he got DeVito got like whiplashed, hit the ground hard, and because of that, he had to go into concussion protocol. He ends up coming back into the game, but Tommy DeVito had one of his worst games. Let's go into this box score really quick. Guess how many yards Tommy DeVito had today, Cameron?
84.
He had 177 passing yards.
Damn. Okay.
But he got sacked 7 times. Saints defense was eating. Yes. And we were actually like, you know, maneuvering the ball with Derek Carr. And we got a 3 touchdown passing touchdown game from Derek Carr, which is like, all right, this team, out of all the teams in the NFC South, I'm going to say it now, you don't want to see the Saints. You don't want to see the Saints in the playoffs. If you get to host a playoff game in the Dome, watch out. Watch out. Saints can catch fire. I put in, that was one of my early futures. I put this in March. I put in Saints to win the Super Bowl, $20 at 40 to 1. $800 I would win.
That'd be insane. That'd be insane.
That's at BetMGM. Hopefully I can remember my login.
That's what you put in when we first.
Yeah, when I first opened the account.
Beginning of the year.
They're like, you have to make a play in order to activate the account or something like that. I don't know. I was like, why not? It could happen. That would be amazing. Back to the slate. Panthers 9, Falcons 7. Rumors have it that there was 100 to 1,000 fans at this Panthers game. It was a very, very empty stadium. I'm going to go and insert photos here to really give a good analysis. Falcons can't lose games like this. I mean, it just absolutely stuns me. I also heard that tickets were 45 cents. Shout out to Big Cat from Part of My Take. He was like, it said, guess what the lowest ticket is? 45 cents.
No way.
I swear to God, I'll show you the clip.
Way.
Insert clip here.
You can't pass up a deal 45 cents for an NFL game?
Yeah, no.
I do that just for the food.
Right. No, that's 45 cents. That's a carrot. Browns 20, Bears 7. Flacco. I already went over what Flacco did to the Bears. This game was only close because Flacco allowed it to be close. Flacco was like, I need to start preparing myself for really, really close games in which I need to perform. So he put himself in a bad position. He gave the Bears hope and confidence, gave them the ball 3 times, even gave them a touchdown once. That's just the kind of guy that Joe Flacco is. And that kicker, Dustin Hopkins from the Browns, is absolutely insane. I mean, he is hitting field goals all over the place, game winners. This kid has ice in his veins. The Browns went from literally a team that I did not take seriously with Deshaun Watson or Dorian Thompson-Yates at quarterback. Now, I'm like, wow, all right. You cannot overlook the Brownies. Next game, Chiefs 27, Patriots 17. Rumors earlier this week stirring up that Rob Kraft was talking about moving on from Bill Belichick at the end of the season. This, I thought, was going to stir up like they're going to fire our coach? We're going to come out here and we're going to play tough. We're going to beat Patrick Mahomes. Not Patrick Mahomes whooped their ass. Okay, Chiefs 27, Patriots 17. I took the Patriots plus 9.5 because I thought they were going to take it seriously, and they didn't. Bummer. Because they actually, put up an early touchdown that made me believe, all right? Bailey Zappi, Ezekiel Elliott looking skinnier by the day. He really went up there to New England and, got on a proper nutrition plan. He was not eating the Texas barbecue every single day. He was dialed in on some New England clam chowder, and he was just working harder and harder and harder. That's that. Sunday afternoon football. 49ers, 45. Cardinals, 29. It just feels like I've seen this game a trillion times, okay? Division rivals in a shootout. This typically happens on the NFC West side. You don't necessarily see things like this happening on with the divisions on the East. All that being said, let's go ahead and just pull up what Christian McCaffrey did here today, because Christian McCaffrey, with all these quarterbacks kind of having bad games here and there, he could quickly sneak into the top of the MVP runnings today. 18 carries, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 5 receptions for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. That's a really good game. And on a week where Tyreek Hill is also sitting on the sideline, unfortunately. That you forgot to bring that up with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They're like, Tyreek Hill's out. I have to do good now. Yeah.
My time to shine.
Pretty much. Next game, Rams 28, Commanders 20. The Rams, a team that I saw a graphic on Bleacher Report this week, and it said teams that you don't want to face in the playoffs, right? So when it said teams you don't want to face in the playoffs, I was expecting to see the Rams at number 1. The Rams were nowhere to be found. And I was like, you got a veteran quarterback. You got a guy that's been to the Super Bowl multiple times in Sean McVay. I just don't see how you can't take this team uber seriously. This game was never close. The Commanders scored some garbage points at the end. That is a team that everybody needs to just put on their radar just a little bit, because in a season where there's been a lot of parity, this is typically one of the years where somebody runs the table as a wild card here late. Get about 3-4 game win streak going into playoffs. You don't want to see a team like the Rams on a 4-game win streak heading into the playoffs. It's just, it's a recipe for losing and starting your Cabo trip a little bit earlier. Speaking of starting Cabo trip early, do we believe in the Cowboys? Do we believe in the Cowboys? I don't think anybody can hold this game over the Cowboys' head. Obviously, they do what they need to do against the Eagles in a must-win divisional game. But going up to Buffalo in December is one of the toughest things for NFL players to have to go through. If I'm going to be a little bit philosophical here, we got Christmas coming up over the weekend. Lots of Christmas games. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure the Cowboys are playing either on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day. They seem like a Christmas Day type of team. That being said, they have to do Christmas early. They had to travel a little bit earlier. You're going out of your element, okay? Obviously, Dallas gets a little bit cold, but then you go up to Buffalo and it, the wind chill's a little more nippy, okay? And then you're out of your environment and you're going against a buzzsaw of a Bills run game right now. Josh Allen, James Cook. If James Cook can continue to produce at the level that he's been producing these past 2 weeks, the Bills are they're a team you just don't want to see at the end. And I know I've said that about a lot of the teams that have won today, but it just kind of will fit this category that I'll be going through to end the season. Some of these teams will fall out, but you really got to start paying attention to it now. Which teams are the most healthy? Which teams are lacking a little bit of offensive continuity? James Cook, 25 carries, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Woof. You have him?
Yeah. Remember, I asked you. I asked you if I should put him over DeAndre Swift, and he didn't give me a straight answer, kind of. And then I switched him, and he got me like 30 points. It was great. Another great switch for me. Great decision on my end.
I think I told you, do you want me to make the decisions? Or do you want to make the decisions, is what I asked her.
No.
Hmm?
No. I think you make up conversations.
I don't know. Let's call an action replay. Yeah, you threw the flag. I throw the flag too. We're going to go to an action replay. Dak Prescott. He was a front runner for the MVP award starting this week, and now he goes 21 for 34, 134 passing yards, and 1 interception. No touchdowns. Not good at all. Not good at all. Dak Prescott has thoroughly blown his chances of winning the award. But here's the thing. Okay, this is how good James Cook was. Josh Allen was 7 for 15 for 94 passing yards and 1 touchdown. But Josh Allen also had 8 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown. And he now has become, I think, the only player in NFL history to have 10 games in which he throws for a touchdown pass and he runs for a touchdown. That is, that's a Madden cover boy. For a second there, I was like, the Madden curse is real. But he's beating it. He's thoroughly beating this Madden curse hoopla. Let's get the final score here on this Jaguars-Ravens thing. Okay, with the Jaguars-Ravens has been going on in the background. My quick analysis. Oh, here we are. Ravens 23, Jaguars 7. I did take a big L to end Sunday night.
I forgot you put in a big bet on the Jaguars. Ooh.
I was feeling it. There was something about a Jacksonville Jaguars team at home with a healthy Trevor Lawrence, a healthy Calvin Ridley, a healthy Travis Etienne, and I just witnessed them crumble. Trevor Lawrence at times just looks a bit inaccurate. In rather tame situations and pockets, some quarterbacks can throw on the run and some just thoroughly can't, and I feel like he fits into the category of people that just probably should not be throwing on the run as much as he has to. And he was overthrowing people. He just could not find like comfortability in the pocket tonight. And I know the Ravens are good. But man, he's got to be way better. And so does the offensive line. The Jaguars, as far as the run game was concerned, they couldn't really get their zone run game going. And all they did was score 7 points in the third quarter on like the second drive. Their first drive, they stop the Ravens, they get the ball, they go down, they score. The one thing that really upset me about this game is that Isaiah Likely, Big Body Cisco, his tight end, the person I'm playing in fantasy this week, had 5 receptions, 70 yards, and 1 touchdown. And I started Taysom Hill at my tight end position. I'm looking back at the trade. I knew it was going to be boom or bust, right? I knew Najee Harris was fucking not the answer. Neither was Jalen Warren. But I settled. I just wanted to get rid of Derrick Henry because he underperformed for me. And it's come right back around. Justin Jefferson's playing amazing. I would have won comfortably this week. That's frustrating. But anyways, Lamar Jackson, 171 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He came so close to 100 rushing yards. He got 97 on 12 carries. And there's a stat that we had pulled up earlier in the season. It's like games where Lamar Jackson rushes for over 100 rushing yards. They win those games like 9 times out of 10. I think they've only lost 1. Yeah. Monday night football, Eagles taking on the Seahawks. I believe that the Eagles are 6-point favorites. You pull it up for me, Cameron, as I finish up this beautiful episode here. Make sure you please like, share, and subscribe if you've made it this far. Hit me with it.
According to ESPN, Philadelphia is -3 favorites.
And this is in Seattle. This is a game in which the Eagles are coming off a somewhat slide. Do you believe in the Seahawks? Because similar to like the way that Trevor Lawrence has been playing, Geno Smith is his like counterpart in a sense, where there's certain games where they just look untouchable with their deep ball and their accuracy. And then there's other games where they're like getting sacked and ragdolled and just like turning the ball over nonsensically. And it just does not make sense to take the Seahawks financially in any way, shape, or form. This is a bounce-back game for the Eagles. Although they're traveling and this may be closer than I would like it, I would just take the Eagles money line. Be safe. Find the best line where you can, not have to pay the house, -180 or -170. Hopefully you can find some at -150. Usually what I've seen with all the lines this week is that they shot down at the end. So when I was seeing what game was it? I think I got the Browns. So earlier in the week, the Browns were -3.5. And today on my parlay, I caught them at -2.5. So the line, it closed at a very favorable number for me because I was like, 3 points is typically like where I like to be sitting because I don't necessarily see too many games end by like a 2-point differential or, a 1-point differential. You just got to like sit with it. But a majority of the time, you're going to get 3. You're going to beat somebody by 3 or more. So I liked that number when I saw it. So I'm hoping the same thing happens with the Eagles. Maybe there's a whole bunch of, money that gets put in. Jalen Hurts, here's actually the real thing. Jalen Hurts might not be playing. I did read that he has an illness. Correct. So
it's, that flu season's time of year. Everyone's getting
sick. Did he get vaxxed?
Come back next week to find out. This has been the Gridiron Junkies podcast. I hope that you motherfuckers like, share, and subscribe this right now. Go send it to everybody and tell all your family that I wish them a happy holidays, a Merry Kwanzaa, a Merry Christmas, and a Merry Kwanzaa. Cameron.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. Well, goodbye. I did that last time. I said hello. Goodbye, everybody. Happy holidays. Are we doing this next week? Are we doing this? Are we doing this on Christmas Eve?
Put the camera back on me.
There you go.
I didn't play. I don't know. Maybe we do something from the house. We raw dog it.
A holiday special.
A holiday. We're
Holidays.
gonna do a holiday special. Yeah, give me a little backbeat. We're gonna do a little holiday special.
Bum, bum,
This
bum, 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 bum.
is somewhat a holiday special. We are going to have a Gridiron Junkies holiday special.